movies. Building these roads takes a lot of fucking time and a lot of effort. So this is a chance to redevelop 375 with federal funds. Okay, it's an opportunity. Great, it's an opportunity. What historically, and this is part of my mission, is historically it's really, really fucking hard to track opportunities. Opportunities, money, opportunities, whatever you're talking about, that is like water, okay? But historically, more beneficial is to isolate and identify this variable of denial of opportunities, right? So the building of the highways, and specifically 375, which destroyed and denial of opportunities. We can track how many opportunities were denied and still are presently denied as a result of the highway prioritizing directions towards the suburbs, out of the suburbs, and people as consumers coming into the city. Okay? That is a denial of opportunities. To increase those opportunities is a little bit hard. What 375 and this whole project wants to do now is, it's good intentions, right? But when I went there last to Detroit Historical Society, and if I heard opportunities one more time, it wouldn't make any more, it doesn't make any sense. What are opportunities? They kept saying this is a great opportunity for us as the need to determine what we want in our society. Opportunities together. We generate movement together, momentum together. It's Tuesday, December 3rd. I'm wearing my grandma's hat. So, let's go back. Why were the highways built? Well, got cars. Federal government also wanted to disperse the population in case of a nuclear attack. There was an acknowledgement that the government was not going to be able to sufficiently develop some of the back towns and back villages in the South. And so what was determined to be a better solution or more efficient solution, let's put it this way, more efficient solution, was to out of those backwoods towns and bring them to the city. Okay, great idea. But when you bring them to the city, you make sure that there's enough places for them to live, that there's enough services for them, there's enough space for everyone. We know that is a reality. There is enough space, but making sure there's enough space, that is the responsibility of the government. So that's post World War II, that's the 50s. 1959 is when 375 was finished. Okay, so building these roads, let's look at for the highway programs. That's Mellow in the background. These highway programs, it's federal money in order to renovate 375. The roots of 375, the roots of the highway. We can go even back there, right? As I'm driving, I'm going to a talk at the Eastern. With Black Bottom Archives and the city of Detroit. Detroit Story Shaper, all of the above here. I'm going to a talk organized by the government of Detroit. Okay, I'll try talking. In 1959, an area named Black Bottom, which was named after the soil when the French first came, so Cadillac's era, they called it Black Bottom because it was this really rich soil right by the riverfront. What's interesting about that soil and the farming, right? Like, remember, Detroit never had a self-sufficient was never self-sufficient of food, right? They traded for all of their food, or most of their food. So what were they growing? What was that fertile land for? Another sidetrack. So last year at the Detroit Historical Society, I went to a meeting, talk with the Kresge Foundation, with Jamon Jordan, with an architect, all on this project to redesign I375, right? To bring back the black bottom. To restore it, I guess, to its former state. And again, Black Bottom was this neighborhood. You can kind of think of it the way that I think of it. This is the way that Jamon Jordan explained it that I thought was really helpful. Hastings Street. You know where Hastings Street is? You can see it, the little part of it. It actually ran parallel to Woodward. You can see the little part of it actually by Milwaukee Junction and Tangent. There's that little strip, right off of Grand Boulevard. That Hastings, again, parallel to Woodward, was the site, just like Woodward, it was a river, but it was the site where the commercial district, the business district. Woodward was never supposed to be that, right? Hastings Street was. And Hastings Street was primarily at first for the Eastern European and the Jewish immigrants. They were restricted to living there. Then the black immigrants were restricted to living there. And after years of a lack of investment in that area, right? Remember, Detroit has this cycle. When I went to the Detroit Historical Society's Black Bottoms Historical Society